Holy diver, you've been down too long in the midnight sea. Oh, what's becoming of me? Ride the tiger, you can see his stripes, but you know he's clean. Oh, don't you see what I mean? Gotta get away. Holy diver. Oh. Hello, my name is Fitz.
And I'm Russell.
And we're the Crunchy Duck Gamers. Today we have a special guest. He's a dear friend of ours, and his name is Tyler. Tyler, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Tyler.
So, Tyler, tell us a little about yourself. What do you do?
I live the esteemed life of college student / banker. I am one half owner of the tabletop game company Space Tavern Games. We design tabletop board games, review games. We also have our own podcast. I like hockey and Red Bull.
All right, hockey
Yeah.
and Red Bull.
This has been Tyler's Tinder profile. So please swipe left.
Most people swipe left.
If
honestly.
you knew how accurate that statement was, Russell.
I actually made my girlfriend a Tinder once. It was pretty funny. Yeah, I set up a whole profile, put in the profile picture.
Wait, was it an actual profile of her?
Yeah, it was like
Okay.
actually, my girlfriend's name.
Because she really likes squirrels, so you could have just put a picture of the squirrel, and you know what? It probably would have been pretty successful.
So was the hope that you would hook your girlfriend up with some guys on Tinder, and then you would just show up to their houses as you, 6 foot, 290 pounds,
Or girls on Tinder. We don't know which how Fitz set up the profile.
But she
Yeah,
actually did get a
either
message from a guy. And he asked, "Hey, does pretty hurt?"
What?
I didn't get it either.
Who says that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, so today in our podcast, we're gonna take a brief break from RPGs and talk about something that's kind of an RPG. Gauntlet, the Slayer edition, for the PlayStation 4.
Yeah, and this podcast, we have a loose definition of RPG.
Theoretically, if you play as a character, they go through a story that is technically a role-playing game. So
I guess
So that would mean
yeah.
that everything is a role-playing game.
theoretically, yeah,
Except I don't think The Sims count as a role-playing game.
Absolutely.
it's a role-playing simulator. Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's-
you're simulating people having fun.
That's the fun.
I love The Sims. But this chat's not
No,
about The Sims, is it?
Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna talk about Slayer Gauntlet Edition. It was free on the PlayStation Network back in January.
Slayer Gauntlet Edition, Russell? The Slayer Gauntlet Edition?
Gauntlets, yeah, the band Slayer. They did a tribute to the game.
It wouldn't surprise me if they did, honestly, though.
It was a mix between Gauntlet and Guitar Hero, and it was bad. No, we're gonna talk about
Okay.
Gauntlet Slayer Edition for the PlayStation 4. It was free on the PSN back in January, where Tyler, Fitz, and I, and one of Tyler's, how would you describe Skylar? Cohort? Co-owner?
Cousin.
We all played Gauntlet together,
For a
for a
brief
brief time. Actually, I think
Yeah.
we went. The four of us went through pretty much the entire game. I think Fitz and I started it, and then
Yeah, like I said, for a brief
yeah,
time.
and like we went through a couple levels, and then we got Tyler and Skylar to join us.
To join us. It was a lot of fun. There's not much to talk to you about, story-wise, because it's literally this wizard summons you, calls out your wizard, and says, "I'm the only wizard powerful enough to summon the gauntlet."
Yeah, and I was playing as the wizard at the time, and I felt really bad about it.
Yeah,
to
it was
be
like,
honest,
What gives? I could have done it.
it's like you don't know me, you don't know my story.
And you're going through the gauntlet to get these pieces of a sword.
There's this magical timey-wimey sword thingy that this super wizard's looking for, and he opens up the gauntlet for adventurers to come and get the pieces.
And that's the game. That's the story.
And well, you forgot the mega plot twist at the end, where shockingly enough, the wizard turns out to be evil, and the sword is totally broken.
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, I was shocked. I never have seen anything like that ever.
You didn't think that guy was going to betray you, Russell.
He's like 7 feet tall. His skin is black.
He's an evil wizard.
His eyes glow red.
His
like, come
resume
on. Like,
says bad guy.
He's essentially got the word bad guy spray painted on his chest.
His middle name is Betray You.
Bad guy betray you, boss man.
Yeah, that's it. That's the plot. All right.
So that's the whole plot.
Yeah.
That segment was a lot shorter than the Mass Effect part.
Yeah, really. I think the jewel of this game is the gameplay. It's definitely something that really wants you to do co-op.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't find it fun.
No,
by
I think
myself.
if you played by yourself, you would get frustrated because the game is actually, if you mess up, it is very unforgiving. Health is every once in a, find it every once in a while in the form of these wonderfully cooked turkeys in the middle of this dungeon that hasn't been opened for a while.
Which you can accidentally shoot.
As we learned the hard way several times, you can destroy them.
I threw many spears into the turkeys. Many spears.
I shot turkey with arrows, and apparently that makes turkey disappear.
In the original game, there are 4 characters to play as. You have the Valkyrie, which is kind of like the mid-range, all-around character. Fitz played as the Valkyrie.
I am the Valkyrie, and I will whoop anybody else.
Tyler played as the Ranger.
Let Tyler tell what he plays by himself, Russell. How about you say that?
Tyler, what character did you play as?
I played as the Elf Ranger, also known as Legolas Jr.
That class should have been just named Tyler.
It really should. He wears green. He has a bow. He shoots lots of arrows. Like, it was perfect.
That's pretty much if you were to sum up Tyler in one sentence. That's the general gist of it. He likes the color green. He likes arrows.
Yeah, he really likes ranged characters. I mean, really likes ranged characters.
And I really like when there's DPS machines because then it's even more fun.
And he likes elves.
Skylar played as the warrior. Since Skylar's not here, I'm just going to go ahead and say what he played as. And the warrior is nice because it's the tank of the group. It can take the most damage before dying. And it just has a lot of fury attacks.
And he also has the least armor. Think about that.
Yeah, really, he's just Conan the Barbarian.
He is Conan the Barbarian. Not played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, though, which is sad.
He essentially wears a giant skull codpiece and nothing else.
Yeah, I love that about it.
And then originally I started playing as the wizard. And the wizard it's complicated. You have to remember all these different combinations. And the wizard, has like some of the least amount of health, but you actually get the most attacks. Because you can be like throwing fireballs one moment and then be covered in electricity to the next. And
I mean, I never really got to see the wizard in action because we didn't have a wizard in our groups because we had a Slater edition.
Yeah, and I eventually switched over to the Necromancer, which is more my speed, range attacks and summoning monsters to fight for me. And the Necromancer is really awesome.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that.
A little broken, if you ask me.
It is very broken.
very broken.
So, Tyler, what did you think about the gameplay of Gauntlet Slayer Edition?
Well, as Russell talked about earlier, I think one of the big facets about the game that make it so great is the gameplay. I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. What makes the game isn't actually the story of the game or the interactions. It's not the story. It's not the interaction between characters. It's your interactions you have with your friends. I think my favorite part of the whole game was the social experience I had with the 3 people other than myself in the party. General jabs at each other.
And then the screams of terror when that Reaper guy would show up.
Oh, definitely coming after us. Oh my god.
Sorry.
Lots and lots of F-bombs.
The policy of no man left behind when the Reaper came up did not apply. If you got left behind and you died, sorry, we're gonna steal your gold and run away.
That was another thing. The stealing gold became a huge part of our group.
No, I'm just like, who has the most? Okay, I'm gonna wait for him to die, and then I'm gonna pick up his gold.
Yeah, it kind of became a bit of a problem though, especially with the crown. Tyler and I would fight for the crown a lot. To the point where I tried to kill him and ended up accidentally killing some turkey.
I think I was actually dying at that point, so I was pretty angry that you killed my health source.
Yeah,
Thanks, Josh.
it happened more times than like we care to admit. Where all of a sudden it'd be like we'd be spamming all these ranged attacks, and all of a sudden someone would say, "Oh, you fool! You destroyed our food source." And I'd be like, "What food source?
Don't waste
we can't
the
see it because it's
food.
on the other side of the screen."
But yeah, so I think one of the big pluses of the game is the social aspect of it.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I mean, any game that's co-op, like you're going to have a lot of fun because you're playing with your friends, no matter what the quality of the game is.
What I really liked about it is that it didn't fall short when it came to the social part of it. Like you have games that come out now, they're built on massive multiplayer, but this game it didn't fall short with the like smaller range dungeon crawling with your friends kind of thing. It really felt like you were a D&D group going through a dungeon.
That's exactly what it felt like. That is exactly what I felt like.
Yeah, and I think one of the nice things about the game is that to help encourage teamwork. Unlike similar dungeon crawlers like Diablo 3, even though everyone was on their own consoles, we actually all shared the same screen. No one could venture out of bounds and be by themselves. No one could go ahead of the group to explore. Yeah. No one could actually get left behind, because
I mean that would result in your death, most likely.
Because you will die. Definitely, it's a game that's built on teamwork. So we were, we'd all have to talk together and be like, okay, let's go to the left. No, let's go down. And we're lost. Can we stop and ask for directions? No.
There's no one to ask directions but that douchebag wizard.
There was someone to ask for directions. It was a friendly skeleton, and you shot him. Friendly His name was Jacob.
Jacob the skeleton. All right. My biggest gripe with the gameplay is the difficulty at the end of the game. It just scaled up tremendously.
Yeah,
it was a breeze up until the last stage when you're fighting a bunch of cultists who explode and then send their energy up
and then
in
you
all
also
directions.
have cultists who would target players, and he would be off screen. So you would have probably about 20 seconds before he would wipe the floor with you and would do tremendous amounts of damage.
I appreciate the challenge. What I don't appreciate is that it's just all of a sudden challenging.
Yeah. To add to that, the whole game for us. We were like, it was challenging. We were challenging each other, and we were having fun because we were sitting there flying through the dungeons like it was nobody's business. And then we got to the last stage, and we actually had to sit there and strategize.
We had to do that in 2 parts because we came across the final boss, and we'd been playing for a while, and then we stopped, and then we beat him in like 20 minutes the next night.
Yeah, we played for like 3 hours to beat him the first night.
No,
it couldn't. We just couldn't do it. We could. I wonder how that fight is like on hard.
No,
because we played on normal.
Yeah, this is like one of the things that I had a problem with is that to modify your character, you really had to grind through the game. The only way to change anything about your character, like attacks and modifiers, was to gather gold, and gold was not shared well with our group members.
No, definitely not.
Well, this isn't a socialist game, Russell.
Yeah, it's one of
we
the
don't
things
have to share our wealth.
With the necromancer, I got the second weapon, which is really the only weapon you need because you get the physical. You get like a melee attack and then a ranged attack, and then you summon a bunch of specters to fight for you when you get enough points. Mm-hmm. But to get anything beyond that, it's like you had to grind through the game to get like bits and pieces of gold, like maybe like 100 things of gold at a time to buy something that was 20,000 gold.
And I think they did that so you played the game more. And
yeah, the armor system or the upgrade system was a little weird for me. I used this first. I think I used the same bow the whole time. I think I bought another bow and then I hated it and went back to the first one.
See, the thing is, the weapons you bought, they weren't better than your weapons before.
Yeah,
they were
just offer different attacks, different varieties, which is neat because then you can kind of tailor your character to your playstyle.
There is no upgrading from there. You can't increase your damage. You can't increase your defensive abilities, which makes the harder difficulties kind of unfair because...
Well, doesn't the game do that for you?
It does, yeah. The main storyline is unknowingly. You get past its first enemies are orcs. Oh, skeletons, then orcs, and then the cultists. And the orcs, it goes from being, skeletons are, they're easy. They're skeletons. Then the orcs, it's like, okay, this is kind of challenging to, why are the cultists so annoying? Why do they have all this evil black magic?
And to add to that, the second boss was super easy.
Yeah,
And then you go into this really
especially
hard
'cause,
stage.
you know, we had 3 characters that could do range damage, and then 1 character that could do mob mob control. But then all of a sudden it's just like now these attacks aren't doing a lot of damage anymore, and there's nothing we can do against that except just like be patient and grind and work together.
Keep grinding. And you know, the only attack I really used was throw spear. So let's be real. It's a 1 attack.
Tyler and I we like playing as ranged characters, because the thing with ranged characters is that if it's a melee enemy, the melee enemy has to travel the distance to get.
So in that time, you fill it full of arrows.
Yeah. So in that time, you know.
Yeah, I prefer to just chop him in half before anything happens. So
yeah, and then Fitz tends to play as the characters that by the time you get to me, I've already cut you in half. I will attack first.
That's literally every game I play.
Talk about the controls of the game. Actually, other than the wizard, the game controls are surprisingly simple. You know, with most RPGs now, like Skyrim or anything like that, like you have multiple buttons you have to push to do certain things and things like that. But no, if you're shooting arrows, you just kind of push the right thumbstick to the direction you want to shoot the arrows, and yeah, that was that.
Yeah, I had a similar thing where it's like I just had to spam the. Like I can hit aim and then press the triangle button to spam, you know, magic, evil, necromancer energy. But I actually kind of I kept losing focus and losing where my character was. And because like everyone has subtle color changes, like the necromancer's purple, the Valkyrie's blue, the warrior's red, and the ranger's green, I kind of just like zoned out a little bit and I'd lose where my character was. So every once in a while, I thought it was Tyler's character.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, though, I think that if you have a complicated control scheme for a game like this, I don't think the game will be as successful as it is.
Especially when you're keeping track of all the enemies on the screen and trying to keep an eye on your teammates and being like, okay, who needs what? Where's Fitz?
Okay, I just fell off that.
Does Fitz need help? Oh, who needs food? Oh, who shot the food? Who has the crown? Oh, son of a.
Normally it was me. I'm gonna be honest.
Tyler has the crown. And then,
Tyler has the crown almost always. I hate that. He always had the crown.
And then me, inadvertently, I put in air quotes, triggering traps that would cause Tyler to get hurt gently, and he'd drop the crown, and I'd swoop in and try to steal
the best is when one of us would drop it and we would swarm at the crown.
It's one of those things where all of a sudden, crown!
I want to be king!
Death is coming. No, I gotta get that crown.
The Reaper thing is coming. It's like I'm gonna get the crown. No, run away! But I want the crown. Yeah, because there's that one, you know, the Reaper man.
Freaking Grim Reaper.
I remember I tried to kill him. The first time I saw him, and
yeah, we
I
just
died.
watched your mangled body fall to the floor.
I want to actually add that. As far as story goes, what is the Grim Reaper doing in this game? Like, it is zero place inside of the Gauntlet.
What are any of those monsters doing here? Like, the wizard created or opened up this Gauntlet, but like, why are they living there? Who's making the turtles?
The wizard's paying them. The wizard's paying the monsters to be in there to fight us. So that's what the wizard's doing. Obviously, duh.
And the skeletons are the caterers, which is why there's turkey everywhere.
Yes, the skeletons put the turkey
I kind of pictured the Gauntlet as like a cave, underground cave system or something like that. So that would, and all kinds of evil energy and stuff would spawn all the monsters. But I don't understand how an all-powerful death incarnate being is just randomly showing up here.
Maybe he's just misunderstood, and he's actually warning us that the wizard is plot twist is a bad guy. Yeah,
by killing us, he's warning us by killing us.
Maybe it's a language barrier.
The death language barrier.
He's just being like, no, don't do that. And he's trying to actually make us super powered more than we already are. But
and then he touches us by accident and then kills us every single time.
Mice and Men. Lenny the Reaper. I really shouldn't name all the bad guys, because then I get attached to them, and then it makes killing them much more traumatic for me.
Well, you can't kill Death, Russell, so you can just be attached all you want. I
just run away from him because that's all I can do. There are actually times where it's like I'm trying to run away from the Grim Reaper, but then all of a sudden like I'd see gold, and all logic would go out the window, and I'd go for the gold.
I think we all had that moment. You're just like, oh god,
what are you doing?
Oh wait, he just killed Russell. Where's his gold? Where's his gold? Where's his gold, guys? And you just get as close as you can without dying, and you pick up his gold and run away.
Like centimeters of being killed. And if I had died and we would have lost, I think you guys would have stopped talking to me. Because it's just like, oh, I'm right by the exit, but here's like 20 gold. I really need gold. Because Skylar has all of it.
Tyler always did have
Yeah,
all the gold.
it was either Tyler or Skylar, and poor Skylar, you know, he was a trooper about it because he was the tank.
Once I discovered I could do barrel rolls and move faster across the floor, it was game over. I was getting as much gold as possible.
Yeah, like one of the cool things about the Necromancer is that you could do like the shadow walking thing, so you could like phase through enemies, damage them, and look really cool in the process.
I don't really remember what the Valkyrie could do as far as moving
I think
faster.
It just tumbled. That's
Really?
what the Valkyrie did.
Okay.
Yeah, like the Valkyrie and the Warrior just like and the Ranger they just tumbled, and the Wizard I think just like he broke a hip.
He's so old.
Yeah, he's just an evil looking Gandalf.
It's true. He has those like whited out eyes.
Yeah,
like...
you know, maybe if I'd stuck with the Wizard, the plot would have been different. It turns out the Wizard is actually in cahoots with the other Wizard.
Oh snap!
And we would have had to kill you.
Yeah, and then I am actually the final bad guy.
All you need is the sword that is brokenly hard to beat.
Yeah, the sword that allows me to summon every single enemy in the game, including the cultists.
Does the sword allow you to do that, or does his magic allow you to do that?
And then it one-shots you, and you're just really upset.
Yeah, and that's a good point, Fitz. I don't know if it's his magic, because that would make sense to the whole he's hiring all the demons, or if it's
if he's trying to get the sword.
Maybe I think the sword will makes him more powerful. He goes Super Saiyan, Super Wizard 1. Oh. And that allows him to open up like little rifts in the game that allow all these enemies to be like, "Hey, what's up?"
It allows him to bend reality. You know what? The sword probably gives him the ability to control every monster in the game. Probably, yeah. That probably makes sense. That makes sense.
And you know, now that I think about it, so with the final boss, what would happen is that he would be invincible, and then he would just open up portals and enemies would come through. And then we'd all say, okay, somebody take a corner. And then we just do crowd control until eventually he would, he'd drop down his guard and we could do damage on him. And then like he would just kind of sit there and we'd hit him. And then occasionally like the sword would come out of nowhere and hit one of us and do massive amounts of damage. But then also like when we did enough damage to him, he would drop a turkey. So I think I just found the answer of where all those turkeys are coming from.
They're just pieces of him.
He's really just a bunch of turkeys in a wizard skin. That's what he is.
Just a bunch of turkeys wearing a costume.
Yeah, on Gauntlet, nobody knows that you're really just a bunch of turkeys.
A bunch of cooked turkeys.
One thing I do want to talk about is like what our characters would say. And how each character is like drastically different, because like as the Necromancer, I kept saying like, "Oh, life and death are in my hands," and I think we'd all be like, "Shut up!"
Shut
up!
We
get it. You're a Necromancer, but you don't have enough gold to unlock the item that allows you to resurrect fallen teammates.
right? Like, but yeah, like every once in a while, somebody would be like, "Don't destroy the food," and you're just like, "Will you just shut up?" Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I think it was your character that was really
really Scottish too.
He was a Scottish elf.
We're not sure what his his accent was. Honestly,
I had the same accent as Merrin and Pippin from Lord of the Rings.
Didn't he keep changing his accent too?
Pretty much.
Yeah, it'd be like
it was Scotland and then it was Brooklyn.
Yeah,
like.
It's like, what are you doing destroying the food?
What a,
hey, there have to be Lucky Charms.
What a waste of perfectly good food. What even is my accent?
What? Hi,
I don't even remember what my character said.
Your character was just like, I'm gonna
look that up.
Yeah,
I think the if they're gonna put for future, if they decide to make a Gauntlet 2 or update this
Gauntlet Slayer Edition 2
or
whatever.
Gauntlet is actually a remake. It's an attempted remake of the original Gauntlet.
Yeah. So if they decide to make something new in the future, they should. If they're gonna put any kind of character talk or anything like that, they should at least make it interesting. Like, and take a page out of Mass Effect that you guys have been talking about, with the elevators, where it literally just characters talking to each other.
Yeah, give it more of a sense that there is a world outside of this Gauntlet.
Yeah, and that's where the plot falls really short with Gauntlet, because it's just the Gauntlet. These characters didn't exist before the Gauntlet. They don't exist after.
I don't think it's supposed to be anything more.
Yeah,
than
I mean,
though.
even in the older versions of Gauntlet, which are just as hard, the characters actually do say more interesting stuff. Like every time you,
What do you want? Food?
yeah, like when you in the
Me.
in the N64 version of Gauntlet, every time the warrior gets food, he goes, "Food is good." So I kept quoting that repeatedly. Just be like, "Food is good."
Be like those. I think it was Tekken. Be like chicken.
Chicken. Tekken 3.
Calibrating. Actually, that would be interesting. Have a Gauntlet with just Mass Effect characters.
That'd be cool. It would be a shooter instead of a
Rex or Grunt would be the warrior. Shepard could be.
I am Grogan.
Yeah, Shepard could be the ranger. Liara would be the wizard.
Nah, I think Shepard would be the Valkyrie, honestly.
Yeah, Shepard would be the Valkyrie.
Okay.
Ranger would be like Garrus or
Garrus. Garrus would be the Valkyrie.
Or what's the sniper guy from the second movie whose name I'm blanking on right now?
Legion.
Thane?
Yes, him.
Oh, the Thane the assassin.
Thane, yeah.
Yeah, I think he'd definitely be the ranger. But who would be the warrior? Would it be James Vega?
No, it'd be Rex. Rex or Grunt.
Oh, right. We already
and
said
then
that.
for the necromancer, it would just be like a little tiny reaper. And not like you just take a reaper and make it small. I'm thinking like a chibi reaper, like with big anime eyes and like just a little squid thing that floats around, makes cute little noises. Like when you destroy food, it's like no evil.
Like beeps angrily.
Right.
Yeah, it's just like I will destroy all synthetics. You destroyed my turkey. I really want that turkey. And like when he eats the turkey, he's like, that has been indoctrinated well. Nom nom nom.
Maybe,
oh my god, we need to make this game,
we should
guys.
write to the developers and be like, hey, we have expansion ideas. You could just take other games and make them gauntlets.
Yeah. Well, that's what Blizzard is doing with a lot of their MOBA stuff, is that you can play as the characters from StarCraft 2.
Dota 2.
Like, isn't that Heroes of the Storm? Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah, Heroes of the Storm.
I thought that was Dota.
That's another MOBA. But yeah,
okay.
I was gonna say Hearthstone because that's their card game. But yeah, Heroes of the Storm, you can play as like Jim Raynor from StarCraft 2, or the medic from StarCraft 2, or characters from Diablo. So,
that's good.
So yeah, no, I just want all the characters to be normal except for the Reaper. The Reaper has to be super adorable,
like a pet almost.
Yeah,
he'd be like BB-8
It's true.
from Star Wars.
Yeah, one of the things you have to do is that the Reaper will just like make little messes in the corner, and then one of the characters has to clean it up, and you get like 6 gold for it.
That's where gold comes from. All right. Let's see.
Yes.
Tyler. Concluding thoughts on Gauntlet. Would you recommend it?
Actually, I would. If you have a group of friends who all like to crawl dungeons, or you've all wanted to play D&D, this game is definitely for you.
Okay. Russell?
Yeah, I would say, if you can get it for, free or for $5, I would definitely go for it. It's a great introductory game. It's a gateway game to stuff that, is a little bit more complex and be a lot more time consuming, but also more rewarding.
Diablo.
Yeah. From Gauntlet you can go to Diablo, and then Diablo you can go to Diablo 2, and but yeah, it's definitely recommend, like, if you just want to get into dungeon crawlers and the idea of D&D and what dungeon crawlers and teamwork or how it can be rewarding. I definitely, I would go for it. You should buy this. Fitz?
Yeah, I would also recommend this game. You have friends to play games with, go for it. It's a lot of fun to play with your friends.
If you don't have friends, do not buy this game.
Absolutely not. You will not have fun by yourself.
Absolutely no fun.
No, it's not a good solo player game. Don't do it.
I think actually I've tried doing the solo playing, just so I can get gold. and it's annoying. It's hard.
It's boring. It's boring too.
It's not fun, and it's very frustrating because it does not scale. The difficulty with one person is the same as the difficulty with 4 people. We didn't talk about the challenges. Should we talk about the?
Do we really need to?
They're hard. We didn't complete them because we just stopped at that point.
The challenges are hard. We didn't do them.
Yeah, it's unfair hard because it's like the enemies get tougher, but you can't. It's based on skill, but I didn't think after we went through the game, we just didn't feel like playing anything else anymore.
Yeah, because we stomped all over that wizard's face, and we were like, "Yeah, that's that."
Yeah.
Well, after he stomped over our face repeatedly.
Yeah,
that's not the point.
Technically, it wasn't him so much as his minions.
And his sword.
It was Goblin number 3 that would get us, and Cultist number 6.
The point is that eventually we stomped on his face.
Okay, news.
Welcome to the news.
This is the news.
Welcome to the news.
This is the news. The news, yay!
So, Russell, what did you bring for news today?
So news, there have been rumblings afoot on the internet that Sony is now starting to brief developers on the 4K edition of the PS4.
PS4.5.
Yeah, they're dubbing it. Developers are calling it PS4.5. There are so far there's no like concrete picture out there yet of like what it's going to be, whether or not it's going to be a new system, or if it's going to be an add-on for the PlayStation. They're just starting to brief developers on like, this is the hardware that's coming out. It's a new, or not new, but basically a PS4 with a better graphics processor in it. And I'm finding that interesting because Microsoft, which during the console wars was also saying that the Xbox One was totally going to be a 4K machine. And right now they're struggling to do 1080p at 60 frames per second.
That's true.
Few games actually do 1080p at 60 frames. Halo 5 is one example. But another game that came out recently called Quantum Break is kind of struggling to do 1080p at 60 frames per second. I think right now it's at 720p at 30 frames per second.
I mean, it's locked at 30 frames, though.
Yeah, it's locked at 30 frames. For those of you who don't know, 1080p is like it's nicer than 720p. But it's
for those who don't know, Russell's a quality whore.
Yeah,
a picture quality, not like actual good game quality.
No.
Whore.
Oh god, no. There's some games that are absolutely awful, and I still love them. But it's one of the things. Just in the grand scheme of things, 4K is uber difficult to do. If you want to do 4K gaming on a PC, it requires thousands of dollars just in graphics cards to do it well. It's basically you take 1080p, which is one of the really nicest qualities, and you double it. And it's one of those things where if the Xbox One is struggling just to do 1080p, there's no chance it's going to do 4K at all.
Well, yeah, which makes me think, oh hey, the Xbox One's going to come with a hardware update too.
Yeah, and
it's going to be able to do that.
There are also rumors that Microsoft is going to do that. But I just found that interesting of how the Xbox One is still struggling to do 720p, but it looks like PlayStation is having a little bit of advantage on the graphics end. And then we have the have the Wii U, which is a generation behind.
Yeah, and that brings us to my news. Nintendo is ceasing production of the Wii U in 2016.
That to me is just shocking because didn't the Wii U just come out 2 years ago?
The Wii U just came out. The Wii U is a massive sales failure.
Yeah, it is.
Especially compared to the Wii, but nobody's buying a Wii U, and that's a problem for Nintendo.
You don't have a Wii U, right?
No, I don't have a Wii U. But here's my thing: Wii U is a fine machine, but isn't do the same as a PS4 and Xbox 360 would do. It has a few good games. It has Smash Brothers. It has Bayonetta 2. It has Mario Kart. Other than that, I'm struggling to think of anything else I would want on a Wii U.
I know Xenoblade Chronicles was another well-received title for the Wii U. When you say Mario Kart, I honestly don't know which one you're thinking of. Because I go back to the Nintendo 64 one. Because ever since
Mario Kart 8.
Oh, is that what it's really called?
Yeah, because at the beginning, Mario goes, Mario Kart! Yay! like
It's
that.
kind of like in Resident Evil. In every Resident Evil game, it's like Resident Evil 5. So I'm waiting for the crossover between Mario and Resident Evil. Be like Mario Kart 9.
Resident Evil Kart.
Resident Evil Kart. I would watch. Yeah, Mario versus the Nemesis from Resident Evil 3. I'd watch that.
Also, this probably has a lot to do with the release of the NX, which I don't know when the NX is coming out. We don't know. We know almost nothing about the NX. Russ, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that's right. Nintendo announced that they could be making a new console. Right now, it's just called the NX. I don't know if that's going to be the actual console name or if that's its code name right now.
Yeah. I don't know. A lot of times, an X symbolizes like a crossover, like Street Fighter X Tekken.
Yeah, or Next, short abbreviation, or kind of reminds me of the Nokia N-Gage for some reason.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so honestly, Nintendo could be teaming up with one of the other companies. Probably not Sony, but they could be teaming up with Microsoft, and Nintendo games could be coming out on the Xbox One. But that's not a real thing yet.
Yeah, that's
don't take my word for that.
Speculation, people. Speculation.
They wouldn't cross over as Sony because of the bad blood between them.
Oh gosh. No.
They just wouldn't. That just would never happen.
Viewed as old as time.
Okay. There's not really much to say about Nintendo. It's just Wii U's a failure.
Nintendo, even though Nintendo has had a commercial failure with the Wii U, it still remains one of the strongest in handheld gamings.
They're also making a crap ton of money on Amiibo.
Oh, right, the little action figures that you can buy. Granted, I don't own anything. Like, I don't even own the 3DS that can use the Amiibos. But I just kind of there's some Nintendo characters that I still really like Zelda or Samus from Metroid. And it's like I wouldn't actually mind just buying those figures just to have them, even though I wouldn't use them for any game because I honestly don't know what they do.
Yeah, and I don't want this podcast to. I don't want the listeners to think that I hate Nintendo, because I don't. My first console was an NES, and I love my NES.
Yeah, I
love Super Mario Brothers. The Zelda games that I played the first Legend of Zelda, and I was too young to really get the concept of Legend of Zelda, but I liked playing it.
Yeah, both Fitz and I have played our good share of Nintendo games.
You more than I, because the Nintendo Entertainment System was my last Nintendo console.
Oh, so. Yeah, the Wii was my last one. And Fitz and I were actually just talking about this, like with the Wii, it's one of those things where, I bought the Wii and you played a few good games for the Wii, like Twilight Princess, port over from the GameCube, and then Metroid Prime 3. And then after that, I kind of stopped paying attention. Like I would check to see if there are any good titles, and there were some okay ones. And then Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword came out for the Wii. And that was just one game I could not get into. The motion controls were just not doing it for me.
Yeah, the waggle whole thing was just a big gimmick. It succeeded in selling consoles, but I don't know if anyone played it longer than just a month.
Yeah, well, it's also
after they beat Twilight Princess.
Yeah, right? It was more than just a gimmick, because there's also the Rayman Raven Rabbit games for the Wii, which were a lot of fun. It's just the problem is developers weren't making good games for the Wii, which was a problem. Even Nintendo wasn't making good games for the Wii. You got Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, and then a Zelda game, and it just kind of seemed like they stopped. And I'm sure there's someone who's listening to this who could name a whole bunch of prime examples, but no,
there's not. There's no prime examples of a good Wii U game.
Or
a good Wii game. We've already named them all. That's the thing. We've already named all the good Wii games. And I searched,
because it's one of those things where I have the console, I should find games. And also, Wii games do not go down in value.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, I have another news thing. We talked about this yesterday, I believe. BioWare revealed the name of their secret new IP at a games convention at GDC, where Alistair McNally was wearing a T-shirt that named the new IP, the new intellectual property, and nobody even noticed. Nobody noticed.
Well, have you ever seen Shawshank Redemption?
Yes,
You know,
100
the line
times.
of like nobody ever notices another man's shoes. I guess it goes for T-shirts as well.
Yeah, I mean, people are just like, oh, that's a cool title on that guy's name's T-shirt. No one connected with, oh, that could be a new IP. And it's not like people that at games conventions don't know who Alistair McNally is. He's a director of creative development at BioWare. People know who he is. But yeah, I thought that was funny. I wouldn't be surprised if a picture of him at GDC is somewhere out there.
Someone reported that he was wearing this T-shirt, but nobody actually has any photographic proof of it. Like, I think that's one of the headlines I saw, which is, I think, hysterical.
You know, and that's awesome. I love BioWare, so any new IP from them, I'm gonna buy.
I think the only because BioWare has done like the Middle Earth type thing, has done space, so I couldn't think of like what they would do. So of course my default thing was, oh, they're gonna do a farming RPG. Its immediate replied with, they already have Harvest Moon.
That's not BioWare.
That's not BioWare, but that's Nintendo.
But
and Harvest Moon for the N64 was great. If you still have an N64 and haven't played Harvest Moon, you should play it.
Go to a game shop that still sells Nintendo 64 games. They do exist. They're out there. Yeah, there's Google for that. Trust me, they're still out there. There's more than just GameStop.
The Farming Simulator does not have the market on these awesome farming games. Let me tell you.
No, they definitely do not. But yeah, there's not much else to talk about this news topic. But
yeah, I mean that's exciting. BioWare is, I think, the last new IP that they came up with was Mass Effect, I believe. Since then, they've been making sequels. Like they made another Dragon Age Inquisitions, which came out, I believe, last year.
Yeah, it's a very solid title. I love that.
And they did Mass Effect, and they're currently working on Mass Effect 4. So it's exciting. It's like, yeah, we're getting something new, something.
Yeah.
I don't know if
they had a new IP they were working on called Shadow Realms, and that was a 4v1 action RPG developed by them, but that was canceled. Probably because of the failure of Evolve.
Yeah, 4v1 doesn't work long term.
No. So
I think Evolve has like a really low player count now. I don't think anyone still plays it.
That's I don't want to get too far into Evolve, but like Evolve's really fun when you're playing with your friends. I got it and I had a really good time, and we never played again.
Yeah, that's one of those games where I didn't buy it because I didn't have people to play with, and I didn't feel like I missed out on much.
Yeah, good concept, solid concept. Actually, the gameplay was actually really good, but it just you can't play it by yourself. It's not like Left 4 Dead, or like you can just play with any old buddy. No, you need to play with people who know what they're doing.
You need a SWAT team,
basically. And you need to be able to trust this team. You need to be able to communicate with them. And in Left 4 Dead, you don't have to be able to communicate with anyone.
No.
But in Evolved, like everyone needs a headset. Everyone needs to be on the same page. And that was the issue with that. But anyway, that has been the show.
That has been the news.
The news. Oh, okay, Tyler.
Yes.
Where can people find you?
You can find me personally on Twitter at JCoRains. There's a long story behind that. You can find our company on at Space Tavern HQ. We have our own creative studio, which is at Spacewalker HQ. You can find us. Our information site is rulezeromedia.com or spacetaverngames.com, which is right now a satellite site. But that's where to find us. And you can.
What's your podcast?
Our podcast is called At the Tavern. We go every Sunday night. We do it live. It is very much not kid friendly. Please do not bring your children to this podcast.
This is not Deadpool. Do not bring your children to the theater.
So we do it live. It's very, very vulgar and very raw, but it's part of the charm of the show. We do a live podcast every Sunday night on YouTube, and then it'll be available on any place you could find podcasts after that.
Okay. I don't know why, Tyler, but the moment you said it's very, very raw, my first thought was like a carrot. How raw is your podcast? Like a basket full of fresh vegetables.
Like an onion.
Right.
Oh, it's got layers to it.
Tyler, you're welcome to come back anytime you want.
This has been the Crunchy Duck Gamers. Very special thanks to our guest star, Tyler. I'm Russell.
I'm Fitz. Yeah, our Facebook page is titled The Crunchy Duck Gamers. Yeah, our Facebook page is titled The Crunchy Duck Gamers. You can find us on there. You can find us on Twitter at CDuckGamers.
And check out our podcast. We're now on iTunes.
And you can find us on YouTube. That's just Crunchy Duck. So, like us, follow us, subscribe to us, however you see fit. And this has been our show. Bye.
All right, yeah, thank you very much.